I think if you could spend like probably like 2 minutes on this whole yoga thing, because I think yeah, just go for it.
In a nutshell, yoga, which apparently some Christians are practicing in church and stuff. Like churches having like women's yoga classes and stuff. So the word yoga means union, and union, it's referring to the spiritual goal and agenda of yoga, the word union. What they mean is that there's a universal, impersonal spirit called Brahman, which is this force in the universe and the substance of reality, the substance of the universe. And the goal of yoga is to bring your individual self into union with this universal consciousness, this impersonal field of consciousness, where you recognize that your personal sense of self, your Atman, as they would call it, is ultimately Brahman, is ultimately God. It's ultimately an expression of this oversoul of the universe. And so when you reach this state of consciousness of realizing that, they call that moksha. So the entire goal of yoga is moksha, which is a state of being conscious that you are essentially God. Well, it's essentially what it is. So, yeah. So,
what would you say to a Christian who says, "Yeah, but I'm just doing the stretching"?
Yeah. Well, the stretches, aside from the fact that regular stretching has been shown to be just effective in treating things like back pain as yoga. The issue with yoga, one issue is that it's idolatry, because the positions that you're doing in yoga, they're meant to honor the sun, the moon, pagan deities, the polytheistic gods of Hinduism. They're named after polytheistic gods of Hinduism. And when you hit these positions, what they're meant to do is invoke the properties of these gods or the power of these gods. Okay? So here you are, you're in a yoga studio. There's incense burning. You got, idols up everywhere. You got some, demonized yoga instructor, who knows what. And then you have, but then you're in a trance-like state of consciousness. Okay, your brain waves are changing. You're an open door. You're more susceptible. Your defense systems have been brought down, and you're opening yourself up to demonic possession, demonic oppression. And people are saying, well, no, you're crazy. Okay, well, let's look to something called the Kundalini effect in yoga, where people who practice yoga, they believe they feel this serpent of energy, as they'll call it, crawling up the base of your spine, through your chakras, your energy systems of your body, up to your third eye, and then illuminating your third eye and enlightening you. But here's the problem. You get like side effects like migraine headaches, like depression, like suicidal thoughts, like sickness. And you feel, there's all blogs of people asking, like, I have the Kundalini effect after doing yoga. I don't feel like I'm even...
Yoga's jacking me up.
Yeah, yeah. Like they'll say, like, I don't even feel like I'm alone in my own body anymore. Like, I need help. And the reason why is because you're getting demons. And proof of this is in Hinduism, there's something called siddhis. There's primary and secondary siddhis, which are meant to be essentially consequences of practicing yoga. When you practice it properly, an effect of that will be a primary siddhi or secondary siddhi, such as the secondary ones would be being able to revisit the past lives of the gods and like see in trance what they did. Being able to leave your body and go into another person's body, okay? Being able to read another person's mind. So yogic traditions tell us that when yoga is done properly, the way it's supposed to be done, you're gonna be able to do things that the Bible tells us are only possible with demonic power, okay? Right. And you're gonna feel messed up, you're gonna feel like you're not alone in your body, and then you're gonna need help from people getting deliverance. Like, so it's dangerous.
Yeah, you're just opening up the door to the demonic.
Yeah, you're opening up the door to the demonic, and you can't separate it from its theological, spiritual roots. The whole purpose of yoga is not stretching. It's psycho-spiritual. It's moksha. It's another one is samsara. It's leaving this cycle of death and rebirth, leaving the cycle of reincarnation. And you do that by reaching a certain level of consciousness, a certain state of self-awareness of yourself as the creator, and now you no longer have a need to reincarnate. So those are the two goals of yoga. It's not just to go get fit and, wear Lululemons or whatever. And look like relatively cute because you like yoga pants. Like, that's not what it's about. It's like, it's
relatively.
it's really dangerous, and it's an open door. And my best friend of 12 years was a yoga instructor. And when I got saved, it threw him for a loop. and he tried to get me to do yoga with him, and I just said, no, I can't do it. I'm convicted. I can't do it. And he got really offended by that. And so him and I haven't been really in contact. I saw him once since I got saved, and the Spirit really filled me before that. Yeah. And I wasn't trying to say anything convicting, but I feel like when you're filled with the Spirit properly, people can sense God.
Amen.
They sense change, and that witnesses to them enough, you know?
Yeah, and if they're not ready to receive, they can be very hostile.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So I shared Christ with him. I shared the gospel, shared the atonement, and planted seeds, and haven't heard from him since. But yoga's it's not even close to being acceptable within the body of Christ. Your mom's praying for him, right? Yeah, of course. So he'll be saved like next week.
Amen.
Yeah.
Hey, let's thank Steve. Can we just